Yeah! Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game. Today we've got SuperBman going up against Iceman. So the power of ice versus the power of superb. The only thing I know about Ronin Iceman is that he doesn't wait for you to deploy. And yeah, they're both playing pretty cracked divisions. We've got the OP 76th Airborne going up against the OP 56th Airborne. Whoa, I love VDV. We're on Urban Frontlines, which is pretty good for both players. I think 56 probably has the advantage here simply because their infantry is a bit deeper and they get they get BMP2 spam, whereas his opponent gets BMD spam, which they don't have as much armor, they're not as good. The advantage that 76th gets is that its forward deployment is better. So we'll see how it goes looking at the deployments. We got Iceman here. He's taking two Dush Razvedka 4-man squads, pretty far forwards. This is quite a forward position. I mean, I've not seen people use that house before. It's actually pretty good because you can see this, and you can see this road as well. So that's actually a pretty good house. It's not bad, but yeah, generally there's nothing happening here. Either they're in the houses or they're here. So, but yeah, you might see a CV or something. And then motorized Razvedka for mid, another motorized Razvedka for mid, and then another 4-man team over here on the right. Behind that, we've got the Orcs, so it's one of the advantages, 56. I mean, yeah, 56. They've got bigger squads than 76th, generally. They've got just a deeper infantry tab. Thing is, they don't have the forward deployment. Their forward deployment is worse. Their only forward deployed stuff is like 4-man Stinger team. Like you'll notice these are all recon forward deployed instead of airborne. Their only proper airborne forward deployment are these Stinger teams, which he's not actually brought any of, so I can't show you them. So yeah, some orcs. I didn't name it. Eugen named it. Something else I can't say. And a T-62 command tank. Going Dimitri. Typically, you'd want a CV for Dimitri, Boris, Anna, and one for Elena Center. MIAMT Governor. So this thing, if you can get it in gun range, is decent, but the problem is that this is IFV anti-helo range. So if your enemy's opening IFV, which actually is not, I don't actually see any AA there. Wow, no AA there. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Unless one of these guys has the... no, he's not brought the Desant Spetsrazvedka either. Whatever they're called. They've got Iglas and they're forward deployed. So this thing is going to wreck face, I guess, although he's not pathed it. And yeah, on the right, some more orcs. Another diversity enthusiast. Although, I mean, I don't know, I guess this road would have been better for that placement. Another diversity enthusiast and a metis. So he's big on diversity, this guy. A very diverse gamer. Switching to his opponents. Got lots of SPG-9s. Luaz SPG-9s. So these are pretty funny because they're airborne. And so you can just spam them all out at the start. Put them all over the place and just send them into the backlines and try and shoot stuff coming down roads and stuff like that. It's very, very difficult to play into this division. I think both of these divisions are OP. We got some more diversity warriors. Bit more diversity going on here. Yeah. And yeah, SPG-9, some Desant Metis. So we'll see if there's an early engagement here for this building. And then big push on center at the start. He's brought the Sus. So this is like a 50 cal team, but slightly better. But also very slow. It's better because it can shoot helicopters, unlike all the other 50 cal teams in the game. This one can shoot helicopters because it's got a pretty funny tripod thing, which looks like it can't shoot helicopters. And we got some Metis, Spetsgripper, Spetsgripper. So yeah, no AA. Two CVs though, one for Feder Center and then one for, hopefully, yes, Gregory, Sheraton, Ivan. And a supply. And some recon over here. So let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to explain why I always say cast the game from this perspective. Basically, I mean, there's not as many Warno casters anymore. I'm basically the only one who's doing it regularly. But basically, yeah, a lot of them do this, And this is really dumb, because this is where the fight happens, and most of your screen just has nothing on it. It's to like declare impartiality, I guess, but it's just better to just cast it from the way it's played, because the maps are obviously designed with that in mind. Look, this is your combat area. So yeah, they get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. Great way to support the channel. I'm about to become unemployed, so I really do appreciate it. Every little helps. If you'd like me to, make more videos. I've noticed a lot of people have been saying, there's lots of casts now, but not as much Hippie playing. Well, if I finish the PhD and I don't have to get a job for a bit because you guys are helping me out, then I can start uploading 2-3 videos a day, and then we can keep the cast coming and keep the gameplay coming. So yeah, please do like the videos if you don't want to pay money. That is very, very helpful. And there you go. So these SPG9s doing some work here. Oh, this is a very expensive unit to lose. It's a very, very expensive unit. I mean, it's 90 points plus the transport, so it's 110 points down there. He's getting back. This thing... So there was actually an Igla here, I just didn't see it. And it hit this thing straight away. So I was hoping this thing would do a lot of work, but sadly not. Anyway, the Descent Conquers obviously gets there before the Dush diversity enthusiast. Orange Man's back in the White House, so it's Jova for diversity enthusiasts. So this is... So it's a shame he didn't go for this one because it's obviously more expensive, but that's quite a wide bombing arc, and he survives it. A lot of that was to do with the bombs exploding on the roofs there, and he was on the ground floor. So credit to him for moving out. Looks like SuperBman. I know that isn't what it stands for, but I'm just going to keep saying it. He did manage to win this fight as well. He's got stuff in the back line. Very, very difficult to deal with. I mean, this helicopter would be perfect for that, actually, because neither of these can actually shoot helicopters, but he doesn't know about it yet. So, yeah. He's all over the place. M240 regular mortar. Quite rare to see this. This is not as good as the cluster mortar. It is still pretty decent. The cluster one's OP as anything. So, yeah, here we go. Gov opening up. But the point is that you're very rarely in the range for this. So I just don't like it at all. Obviously, the grenade launcher, it probably deals a lot of damage, but there you go. SPG9's doing work there. Yeah, so the Gov, it's mainly just using its rockets there. So he's bringing up his one Igla. I mean, hopefully he buys a bit more now. Great. And more Spec Scrupper. So if the game goes late, Red's got the advantage. But right now, at the start, as we spoke about, Blue's got the better forward deployment. And you see that he's used that quite effectively. What he's got to watch out for is overextending. Which there is a little bit of evidence of. I like this a lot. I mean, he's basically made it so they can't get in here, and now he can start pressuring this. But there's always this temptation, which I do all the time, where you're like, oh, I'm winning, and then you just push everywhere. Everybody dies, and then you get counter-pushed and lose. So, you want to turn the weapons off on this, really, because now he knows that there's an Igla there, and he didn't have to. Keep in mind, it's got exceptional stealth, so you don't really know about it if it's shooting, which it is now continuing to shoot. You see the sus doing some sus damage there. How far we have fallen. And, yeah, so yeah, we're yet to see any BMP2 spam from the 56Y player. That is, of course, the best. 56Y is the best BMP2 spam div in the game. But yeah, this Igla's going down here, and it's sort of crucial that it doesn't, because he's not got that much AA, and there it goes. And this meta is not being microed, really. Dying. These guys do have satchels. But here we go. So, I mean, we'll see how effective this is. It's just, not that effective. I mean, it did a bit, but I suppose you don't actually get an Acacia, and it's not that expensive. I did not realize he had a plane back here, preventing Red from buying planes. Basically, 76Y, what you want to be doing late game is switching into SU-24 spam. But, as you can see, this can't actually shoot these, so these Govs are cleaning house. MiG-31 being used against Mi-8s is a bit risky business. I mean, it actually hit both its missiles there, which is pretty impressive. And, yeah, so, as you can see, I mean, it's got quite a high rate of fire, I suppose. The cluster one's better, but it just costs so much more. At close ranges, the MiG-31 is at a distinct disadvantage, but I think Ronin messed up... Oh, sorry, Iceman messed up his his thing there, he wanted to get this while it was facing the other way, because it was coming around in circles for this. He could have, and he would have seen it because of this. He could have timed that a bit better. So SuperBman takes out Iceman there. And in mid, yeah, still +3. Although red's starting to reinforce. The BTR-70D, is that the one with the grenade launcher? No, it's just the one with a bit more armor. It's basically an SPW-70. And yeah, that M240, it's not stopped shooting. I mean, it could be counter-batteried, but 76Y... I can't remember if 76Y gets the... It just gets noners, I think. I mean, I know it gets half-grads, but that thing, for some reason, has 6 HP, unlike every single other mortar in the game, which has 2. SU-25, trying to line up a target here. He didn't click it fast enough. But yeah, there's not enough AA here, really. Here we go, BMD2 spam. Not as good as BMP2 spam, but still good. Yeah, so it's trying to... It drops its bombs on this meta squad. This guy's probably not going to make it. Down he goes. I'm surprised he's using this. I just don't think it's very good. But yeah, the BMD2s, you probably can't hear me over their music. They carry the same gun as the BMP2, but they are less armoured. They do not have smoke. And they're, 55 points. To be honest, the BMP2 might be a little bit too cheap. But I'd be more of a fan of literally every other unit in the game coming down in price rather than just constantly making this stuff more and more expensive. So, SuperBman is making a play here. His diversity is out of rounds. And, yeah, these big squads will win that fight, especially if he's in the open. And, yeah, you can see the power of the diversity. The BMD2s cannot cross the imaginary line there into this safe space. And the metas, similarly, 17 pen means it one-shots a lot of things. One-shots 3 armor vehicles, these only have 2 armor. Here we go. So half-grads, double half-grad coming out here. Surprised he wasn't going on those mortars, but this is a pretty good target. Lowering their cohesion and so on. But yeah, if he, his BMD2s could be brought here and then they'd be shooting down here. Stuff like that. So basically you just drag box them and like attack move over here, and then they'll naturally, I can see him and shoot. But yeah, you got to watch out for the metas, I understand. So Desantniki BMD, it comes with the BMD2, but it's not that great. And yeah, the main advantage that SuperBman is getting here, as you can see, he actually lost his unit there, so he's got to buy another one here immediately because now this is open and these can counter push. Is he's preventing these transports from getting in. I mean, this needs to really be on this road. And yeah, this isn't going to win this fight, so we should fall it back. But as long as he's here, the CV cannot safely get in here. They've got to kill this first. Although I'm surprised at, like, what happened to those Gov helicopters? Oh yeah, the Mi-31 got him, but yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. And like there were 2, and one of them only took 1 missile. I'm not sure what happened to it. It must have died somehow, somewhere. Just missed it. So Malden MiG being sent over the battlefield here. The half-grads resupply quite quickly, especially if you put CV next to them, because look, there's literally, that one's a 3-vet. And, well, actually, they're both at 3-vet. Okay. So he must have been bringing them at 2-vet, and then putting the CV for 3-vet. There's no way they got that many kills so fast. Oh no, just sending the supply in. Unnecessary, really. And yeah, the BMD2s, he was doing the thing. He's trying to get that mortar. But this will not be hit by diversity. It's having a bit of a pathing issue there. Trying to get around this little thing. Oh, straight through the wall. So yeah, he'll shoot the transport, but he won't. I mean, he sees it, so I wonder if he'll grad it. No, he's just going to shoot it with... Okay, I mean, immediate reaction from... No, I think he just has his units on defensive. Yeah. So, like, he sees it, so I do want... I mean, the half-grads should really be... they're loaded. They should be on this. Or you send the BRDM2 over and kill it that way. Don't think Iceman's realised that SuperBman has taken out his transport there. Oh, here we go. So hopefully... Yeah, there we go. depending on who you're rooting for, right? But Iceman doesn't wait for me to deploy. Can't speak for SuperBman, but Iceman doesn't wait for me to deploy, so... And there you go, you know, if this had 2 HP, like every single other mortar in the game, it'd be dead, but for some reason this gets 6. Despite there only being 2 guys there, so it actually survives that, and I don't think he knows about it. Don't think he knows about it, because he put this all the way back here, he can't actually see it. So yeah, blue has been pushed back to his starting point. I mean, the fact of the matter is 56Y gets T62s as well, which are pretty decent against IFVs, BMD2s and BMD3s. They're pretty decent against them. And so... Well, I mean, obviously, if you just sit there and eat ATGMs, they're not so decent, but in general. So that's a good bombing run there. Might get some BMD2s. And the CV, perhaps. Okay, just gets the supply. I mean, the SU-25 bomber, I don't really rate it. Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, red is slowly getting back in here. SuperBman. Getting pushed back. And you see this is just getting healed up now. He's not even bothering to move it. I'm not... What the hell is going on there? That's a shame. I mean, he could have resupplied this and... whatever. Certainly, like here, this is a great place to have this. So yeah, the half-grads, as long as the half-grads keep firing, I think 76Y can probably hold back the Knight. It's the BTRD that's got the grenade launcher, that's it. The BTR-70D doesn't. Anyway, looks like red's taking the zone, because even if he dies now, it'll go neutral. And that'll be +1 to Iceman here. So... the BTRD's on it though, so it's not going to live very long. And what blue really needs now is some smoke, so that he can smoke this and get back in. Because if he goes here, that tank's going to shoot him. But he is trying to. This as well, he could bring this here, and maybe it could shoot that. Although the LOS is a bit funky here. I'm not sure it's blocking like these trees. Oh, it's these train car things. I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah. What's that going on? It's going on the mortar. I thought this was going on the grads then. So that one actually gets it. It's a lot to do with... I mean, it was closer, so the dispersion circle was smaller, but also it is just... Look. And here we go. So this is what we were talking about with 56Y. Their infantry tab's deeper in that they're not despite being an airborne division, most of their stuff's not airborne, so they're not paying the airborne tax, and they get these 14-man squads and these orc squads, which are 10, and generally their squads are heavier, so they can, like late game, I think they'd have a good advantage. And the BMP 2 is finally on the field, so we could like look 4 armor, 3 armor, 2 armor, 1 armor, whereas this is dead. This is 2, 1, 1, 1. So just not as good. Not as good. So yeah, I mean he's getting the CV in. Shame about the lack of smoke, but you know, you can't have everything. My own skills have atrophied significantly. I wonder if this will be going for that building. That is a good building to put it in. So yeah, sus time. He's making some sus plays there. I'm just so funny. Love to see a bit more supply up here for blue. I mean, he's going through it as fast as he's bringing it up. He needs to move these, really. I mean, especially if Iceman decides to buy the cluster mortar. That's going to be an absolute nightmare for him, because it would just kill these. Like, he's not actually moving them. You need to move them after every shot. They're self-propelled, so it's nice and easy. You know, Shift, T, left click, F, left click, and then it would just, you know, with Shift help, just sort it all out. And you see that even though these are much worse because of the lack of armor and lack of smoke, they're only 5 points less because of the forward deployment. And so it's risky. Late game, certainly. I mean, I know blue's been up for like 20 minutes, but as you can see, like, red has thinned him out quite a bit. He took some losses there. Red really needs to deal with these grads somehow, because they are doing an absolute nightmarish amount of damage on his infantry. I mean, you don't... in the end kill list, there probably won't be that many kills, but a lot of it is just due to the fact that they're all... wow. Deadman kills the BMD-3. That's a 300... that's a 100 point unit there. It's got the grenade launcher and stuff. A very powerful unit. 110, okay. It's 100 when it came out. And yeah, like it's firing every 30 seconds, well, every 40 seconds, every 42.6 seconds, and then you got the firing time. So I guess it's more like every 45 seconds. Well, I don't know, every 50 seconds, every minute. But yeah, these BMD2s, they're not dying, and this thing, it just keeps happening. And you see like his low squads, which, you know, these are 14-man squads. You'd want to keep them alive. Looks like he's missed them actually. Yeah, it looks like he's missed them. And these, you know, Conquer's M, pretty strong. I hear planes. So, oh, I didn't even notice this. So we spoke about when Blue lost his units here. I said he's got to immediately buy new blocking units because the enemy will counter push, and there it is. There's the counter push. The interesting. Right, so he's done some noticing now. So here comes the helicopter to deal with that. And this is just going to go on the supply, isn't it? But yeah, as you can see, he did counter push because he had the orcs in here and now they're in here. So he needs to deal with. I don't think he knows about it. I don't think he knows about it. But you can't just leave vast swathes of the map empty, especially if you're winning, because the enemy will try some zany. You'll probably try it if you're losing as well, depending on who you're playing against. Some people are really, really difficult to play against because they just do that 24/7. It's very difficult to deal with. But I tried to do it, but I don't know. I've mellowed out. I'm just bad now. I'm like a Steel Division 2 player. Just constantly talk about how washed I am. Big 31s coming in 2 per card, and you get 4 of them is a bit stupid, really. It's one of the reasons 76 is so broken. If it was up to me, they'd be coming in at 1 per card, but with double the cards. So if you want 4 fighters, you've got to bring them. And you can't just get them in 2 cards and then buy all your bombers and stuff without reprieve. Because this is like the strongest fighter in the game. It's got, look at that missile range and 712 suppression. Why exactly is it 712? Why is it so much higher than, you know? I mean, to be honest, in general, the Soviet ones are higher than the NATO ones, and I don't really understand why. It's a bit weird. Yeah, one advantage of the Desantniki BMDs is that their 4th weapon slot, which was added recently, gave them a DMR. And DMR makes them pretty cool. So that was going on that BMP-2. It didn't work. I'm surprised he went for this plane first and not one of the bombers. I mean, that is a BMP-2. You're better off trying to bomb some of this infantry. I don't know how much of it you can actually see. Should know about this now. I assume that'll be the next grad target. There it is. Yeah, it looks like the grads really are swinging this quite heavily. But here you go. Red's going to take this, and that's going to put him on a +1. It's just something to do with the way the map works. If you... like, because this is a middle zone, you only get +1 for holding it. Whereas if you take this, you get +2. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zones. Whereas this is only 1, 2, 3, 4 zones. It's just like a bit of a mathematical concept that doesn't go into my head easily because this is one zone and this is one zone, but this is like, you can see this as a core zone and this is a middle 2B contest. So if this is neutral, it's +0, whereas, you know, if any of these are taken, it's +2 to the enemy, right? So he's taken this and now he's going for the next one, and Red doesn't... So basically 76Y, SuperBman, his main... 76Y's main disadvantage is that they don't get helicopters. 56Y gets quite a few, as you can see, and that is very bad news because it's just bad. Trust me, bro. So I don't think he's. I mean, I just don't think he's noticed because he's not making any attempt to send anybody over there. So he's on a -1 now, and he's just like buying supply and stuff and iglas. I mean, this is obviously for those grads, even though he's got 2 here that haven't resupplied it. He's decided to buy some more for him. Obviously, a bit of it for the front line, which you do like to see. And yeah, 56Y sort of gets the same AA situation as 76Y, except they don't get OP fighters, so does make it a bit harder. And there you go. This, it gets its rounds back in 60 seconds. Masked autocannons will do that to a guy. And you see how expensive this is for a 9-man squad. It's very, very expensive, but it's airborne, right? And there you go. So he's taking the second one now. So I wonder if Blue will wake up now or what. And I'm surprised that Red hasn't reinforced this. Like, he should have got, like, these stingers over here would be cool, because obviously, well, there's no helicopters, so I guess he doesn't have to worry about it. They might be a drone, though. I'm surprised I'm not seeing the drone out. I just think Blue just isn't paying attention here. Oh, here's the drone. Great. So this makes a really nice sound, which I shall now force you to listen to. Some guy mentioned on one of my videos, do you intentionally make your videos a poor viewer experience? Sometimes. I mean, basically, often in these videos I am the butt of the joke. Sometimes the players are the butt of the joke. And sometimes you, dear viewer, are the butt of the joke. And that's just how it works. Thankfully, most of my viewers can take a joke. Sadly, you step outside and go on r/Warno or something, you encounter some real individuals that you could say. So yeah, these guys don't have AT, and so now that this has scouted them, I don't know how much attention he was actually paying. He should know, oh, this doesn't have AT, and just run into it. I think he is running into it. But yeah, he's losing visual because this is gone, and these guys have good stealth, and this isn't a recon unit, so... So these weren't resupplied, which is a shame, because those were 14-man squads, and he'd had plenty of time to sort that out. MiG-31 going down there. And yeah, so now he's bringing an AT unit, but I mean, if he'd been doing, like, he's got the recon unit, he should know that this has not got an AT, and there's nothing else in there. He should know there's only 2 units here, and these should have already been in here, but I don't know, he's making some mistakes here. Oh, okay, he's clocked on now, right, they don't have AT, attack moving. I do wonder what's going to happen here. I mean, he's got the drone. Why did he do that? Did you not see? Alright, so this is probably going to kill that 14-man squad, yeah, so hopefully he can maintain some visual on this, and, he needs to really fast move one of these over here before this guy gets in here. SU-25 going in for that, I mean... But yeah, +3 for Red. He sees... I guess that the plan is that now he'll re-attack mid, because he's got like a CV here and stuff. Red is on the good side, it's worth noting, because you can get into Fedor quite easily by pushing this town. But on the flip side, Blue does have 4 high-rises here, whereas Red only has 2. So yeah, big turnaround now. The reinforcements are coming in. This has been cleared out. The drone is scouting that thing. Not sure how it lost all its mojo. Must have been bombed or something. Like, this could shoot it with its gun. Just do a bit of extra damage there. But I mean, it's routed, so he knows how close he can get. Like, once it unroutes, you got to unload, right? But you could literally just try and run it down. I can't remember how long routes last. But in mid, the counter-attack now has started. Because he knows that, well, the enemy's putting loads over here, so now I can come in mid, the helicopters and so on. So that's landed, okay. Some AA purchase there. These ZU things are like really, really good for some reason. Bit of a miss micro here from SuperBman. Not very superb of him. He's not actually Cap Sharaton. Neutralized it. Okay, so I don't know if he had evac Winchester on or what, but he could have shot it with the guns. I guess he didn't want to fly over the Strelas, with it being what it is. But yeah, these planes are just so good. So good. ridiculously good planes. I don't know, you could lock one of them to 2-vet or something. I'd just be a fan of like making it 1 per card and doubling the cards and not giving it 2-vet. So you can still bring all 4 if you want, but you gotta pay for it. You can't just bring infinite bombers. You can't just bring infinite bombers. Especially this one, the AA2, with these like double. Well, okay, it's the AA1 with the double long-range missiles, and particularly like why is the suppression value so high on the strongest missile in the game, the longest range missile in the game, also has the highest suppression. Now that we've got suppress on miss, this is actually a big problem. But yeah, this guy, I mean, SuperBman, just not paying enough attention here. He's just not capped that zone. I do wonder if he's going to notice. This thing's just been coming around every minute. For some reason, these are 3 per card. For just no good reason. Like, this is the strongest AT missile in the game because it fires them with a 1-second reload time. Hopefully they change that. And yeah, that'll probably go down. Down it goes. These men have lost a rank of veterancy because their CV was sent over here to Ivan and didn't cap Sheraton. Don't know if I mentioned that. Maybe he'll reassess now that the enemy has a +2. I like this double CV play from Iceman. This guy never gives up. I just assumed it was just because of me, because I always talked smack when he didn't wait. But no, it looks like that's a commonplace occurrence. 56 wide does have the late game advantage here, as we spoke about. So, yeah, still not noticed. Still not noticed. Just bleeding out points for no good reason. You hate to see it. The anti-infantry capacity of these isn't bad, but I get the distinct impression he's run out of BMP2s. Or BMD2s, because now he's switched to BMD3s. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's just sad to watch this happen. Big empty zone. Over here as well, if he'd bothered to buy a smoke mortar or anything, he could just smoke this and run in with his smoke and then run back out again. As for 56Y, he gets grads, he gets cluster mortars. Not seen either of those. I've seen the regular mortars, both of which are now dead. This one survived 1 volley, but I guess he must have got it again. This has been providing excellent recon all game. But I don't know if these will actually see it when they come past, because they've actually got good optics on them. And yeah, BMD3 is not cheap, but it is a fantastic unit. Just the armament's crazy. The anti-infantry capacity of that is absurd because of the grenade launcher, the 2 PKTs, and the autocannon, and then the Conqueror's M is really good as well. Look at that pen. So typically in these situations, if whoever fires first, the other guy should smoke, simply because neither one of these can survive a hit, and you don't know what the accuracy is going to be like. It might hit you, it might miss you, you know? So, there we go, he finally figured that one out, because he was like, I guess it's because he realised he's got to cap this, and then... so, oh yeah, send it through. But yeah, I don't know, these fighters are way too strong, particularly in team games. 76Y is like, I mean, NATO's supposed to have the better air force, right? But not in this game. In this game, Pact has the better air force, and the better ground force, and the better tanks. Generally, and the better ATGMs, and the better AA. Yeah. And the better helicopters, because they march towards some coolers. I mean, I understand that they have to make stuff up, because in real life, obviously, Pact lost really badly. So, you know, so badly their whole empire just disintegrated without firing a shot. Which they claim they did voluntarily, but come on. Let's not be coping here. So you see how this has 4 armor, so it can survive a meta shot, whereas these only have 3, so they don't, because they're the air bomb variant. There you go, so we bought the bomber. It's probably had that for a while, actually. And yeah, I don't know about these MiG-31s, but I also don't know why this is 636, but 712 suppression is just a ridiculous number. Yeah. This is also 3 per card. but it's not as good as the 70. It's not as good as this one. Because as you can, well, actually, they've got the same ECM. So, yeah, the air battles continue, and Blue's back on his +1 now. Can't really see Red turning this around now. He had a pretty good chance here, but he didn't reinforce it. Oh, okay, there you go. He's come to the same conclusion, so he surrenders there. So GG. It was a pretty cool game. Well played, SuperBman. It's clearly what that stands for. Rank 170. Plays a lot of Pact. Not that many total games, actually. You must be watching a lot of YouTube videos. Iceman, rank 83, with like 1,000 ranked games this season. Which is a lot. So yeah, the Superb beats Ice, in the elemental battle. Anyway, I'll see you around. GG.